Hello, I'm Isabel and I'm covering Skinner's operant conditioning, and I'm covering pages 381 through 383. Skinner said a person does not act upon the world acts upon him. We modify our behavior in response to how the environment and the people around us treat us. And a major component of the theory is that we repeat favorable behaviors and we stop behaviors that are not favored. Reinforcement increases behavior and punishment decreases behavior, because as we reinforce something, obviously it's a desired behavior, so the person will continue to do it. But if someone is punished for something, they will stop that behavior. Both means of reacting are trying to change someone's behavior to either the way that they want it to, or how society wants, or whatever the most adaptive response is. Attention goes a long way. So Skinner discovered that attention is a reinforcer. Kids do things to get attention. When we give kids attention, when they are doing that said thing, they will continue to do it. So a lot of times parents will ignore their kids when they're whining or having a tantrum so they can stop that behavior. Time out is a form of punishment where you stop giving your kid attention on purpose, and they know that. You are setting them down somewhere and you are letting them know that they are not getting any attention, and they know that. So they will probably stop doing that behavior over time, or hopefully right away. In the book, it gave an example about a little boy leaving his big boy bed every time he was placed in it. His dad would wait outside, and every time the little boy would leave, his dad would pick him up and put him back in the bed without yelling at him, talking to him, giving him water, just absolutely giving him no attention until he stopped leaving his bed. Secondly, intermittently reinforced behavior is hard to diminish because we are confusing that person with the response we are giving them for the same behavior. It means to give an inconsistent response to that same behavior, so it is hard for that person to understand and respond to your response, because it's not the same every single time. So kids will probably keep doing the thing that you don't want them to do because they think that you are going to give the same response every single time, but because you're inconsistent, they're just going to keep trying. Behavior modification theory is changing reinforcement contingencies to change someone's behavior to a more adaptive response. Another example they gave in the book was a little boy was not interacting with his friends, his group, and due to that, the teachers would talk to him, and that would make him. So they're saying that would make him continue to do things alone and isolate himself because the teachers are giving him attention that way. But what they did is that they stopped giving him attention when he was alone, but they would talk to him when he would talk and play with his friends. So then his behavior changed, and he would start to play with his friends and start to play in more groups because the teachers gave him attention that way. Honestly, I kind of read that and I was like, oh, is that a little bit manipulative and unethical to do that to kids? Because what if they do want to play alone? They're more introverted. But in this case, it's not very unethical, but it could be if, when adults start doing that to other adults. Social learning theory focuses on observation and imitation as a learning mechanism through development, and the need for direct reinforcement is not necessary. So it depends on how much this person or this kid can watch something and then save it in their brain, perceive it, and then be able to recall it and keep imitating that behavior. Reciprocal determinism is Bender's idea that the environment influences children, but they also influence the environment. So basically, based on a kid's like desires and what they look for in the world and what they reach for, they will become part of groups, and then their groups will love them back and take them in. And in the book it gave an example of of kids playing violent video games, and then they are becoming a group, which makes them become more violent in real life, and then people react to them in a bad way because they're acting violent. So then they become a group and they continue to act violent because everyone is hating on them. Some applications talk about parenting, relationships, school, and overall. So parenting, how our parents react and respond to our behaviors as children determine the behaviors we continue to exhibit. So a lot of times parents yell at their kids or scold their kids because they're having a tantrum, or because they're sad or they're scared or they're yelling or crying. And this could actually have a really bad effect on kids, because as they grow up, they don't learn to emotionally regulate themselves. So it's really important how our parents react to us and respond to us as kids, because that also affects our attachment styles as we grow up, and our self-esteem and how we see ourselves. In our relationships, it's the same thing, how our partner responds to us and responds to our behavior. So if they are ignoring us, rude to us, judging us, that could make us stop hugging them, stop kissing them, stop asking them for things. Or if they react in a certain way that you've never seen someone react, or maybe it's not very pleasant, you get scared to do that behavior that you usually would do. And it changes the way that we behave because of the way that the person we love responds to us. School, the grades we get and the way our teachers or our peers treat us will change the way we behave. If you get bad grades, you will, either change your study habits or become unhappy. And the same thing, being judged for a sport we do, being made fun of for acne could increase the likelihood of you using makeup or you not going to school. So overall, we choose to change something about ourselves due to the way that people in the world around us treat us and react to us. So positive reinforcement increases behavior, like doing homework, you could get a reward, good grades, cleaning your room, same thing, your parent rewarding you. Also, as you become an adult, as you clean your room, you realize that it's for your mentality, and it increases your likelihood to keep cleaning your room because it makes you happier and it makes you see yourself differently. Negative reinforcement also increases behavior. If you follow rules, you're avoiding trouble and nagging. Positive punishment decreases behavior. If someone insults you or shouts at you, you're probably going to stop doing that because you're scared, or if you if you neglect your studies or your responsibilities, that's going to affect that too. And then negative punishment decreases behavior as well. Your privileges will be revoked. You can't go out anymore. Getting fines, like if you get fines, you keep having to pay money, and you'll probably stop doing that thing that gets you the fine in the first place. So overall, we change our behavior by the way the world and the environment and our peers react to us and respond to us. So it's important to be mindful of how we go about life and how we treat people, because you don't know how we are changing them mentally, emotionally, or physiologically. Thank you.